Die Kriegsminister sind am Sprechen. And what exactly are they talking about? Syria. As we all know, Syria has been in turmoil for the past few years due to a civil war led by the US-backed Free Syrian Army and Assad's forces. He has been denoted for using chemical weapons, but yet he is possibly at the time being one of the best things that could happen due to the corruption that US imperialism could have there in that region. Now, I usually don't watch Fox News, but living in a mostly conservative area, Fox News was on at the diner that I was at, and they're talking about Obama was making a speech about ISIS or ISIL and how they're going to deal with that threat. And of course, we got the no boots on the ground outline, but also we got outlined that they're going to bomb Syria. They're going to lead ISIS into Syria and then bomb them. Strategically, I don't know how this is supposed to help. This just seems like a cheap imperialist move. Now, the US has been looking to get their foothold in Syria for a very long time, starting with the media propaganda campaign that began during the start of the Arab Spring. And so far, they have been somewhat successful in destabilizing the governments. And in the fact that they've been able to take out Gaddafi and other dictators in the Middle East. Now, of course, there's two advantages of having Syria. You have the political effect that you get around with a sphere of influence. And then you have the oil, of course, that is rich in the Middle East. Now, the problem I have is that this could become a full-scale war, or this could just be the Free Syrian Army finally getting a bigger backing with strikes. Airstrikes and saying, well, this area was where the terrorist was. And of course, the US is trying not to die. Already we're starting to see decay within the system. Ferguson is a good example of this, among other places where the people are starting to wake up a little bit and start seeing the police state that is around them, and the class differences and the racial differences that exist within our society. But as we all know, the first world will always be able to have its power if it has more of an imperialist power within the third world. Therefore, more strength here in the home front. So that way we can, keep the populace dumb with, not having to worry about outrageous high oil prices, which they already are. $3 a barrel. That's a gallon. It's fucking insane. Now, for once, I'm going to support an enemy. I am going to support al-Assad. Why? Because the best thing for the U.S. not to do, well, the best thing for my interests, and hopefully the rest of the proletarians' interests, whether they like it or not, whether they know it or not, is whether or not the U.S. can gain that oil and that political effect, because they are losing their politics and their influence within the Middle East. Now, obviously, if America cannot gain the Middle East back as their own for imperialism, then another country will. And this is just a hypothesis. What if Russia would move in? Then think about that. There would be less of a threat for America, for homegrown terrorists, etc., etc. Everyone would be angry at Russia. But I don't know, I thought I'd just give you that small little update. It's just a little hypothesis. I don't really know if Russia would ever do that. They might, deal with the consequences. Already in the lower parts of Russia, they have to deal with terrorist threats. Sochi was a security threat. If you remember, that the United States had to send in a few carriers in there. So, anyways, if you like this video and you want to see more, subscribe, like, favorite, or dislike. I don't care. I need the feedback. So also, with that feedback, leave your comment, and peace out, comrades.